Ready?
Yeah.
Jan Wayne Swayze presents the FREE99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Twitch, Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Shout out to all the sponsors, shout out to all the listeners. Jan in the building. Okay, he's here, I promise.
Hello.
Hey,
there he is. Rommel in the building.
Your mama got a glass eye with the fish in it. It's the far side.
Okay, and I'm the good homie Gus Customer Service. This is episode 176.
176.
And Rommel, please introduce the guest on episode 176 of the FREE99 podcast.
I would love to. Today, we got an up-and-coming Filipino comedian who's been on a tear at comedy clubs and hosting open mics all around the Bay.
Hey.
Always on to the next because this sous chef stays cooking. From IEPs to PMPs, this man has tried it all. The hilarious historian with a mustache built for mixology, we got Wally Hipolito.
Woo!
Shout out, Wally!
Thank you guys for having me. Toast. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Wally. Thank you,
guys.
Thank you, Wally.
I've been wanting to get on here for a minute, y'all. Like, I don't know if y'all knew this, but I've been listening to y'all since the pandemic, and I haven't been able to listen to as much lately because I don't listen to podcasts anymore. But yeah, y'all are dope, man. I really commend y'all.
All right, it's end the episode right there.
And you know, I don't kiss no ass or anything, but like y'all got some legit shit, dude. Like
man.
I wholeheartedly listen to you guys, and I commend you guys for 176 fucking episodes. Because if y'all can see that for Off the Stoop, I got like 30 or 40 episodes. You know, I couldn't even make it.
That's a good round number. That's a good round number.
That was my intro to you, actually, was Off the Stoop. I remember, I recall you talking about how, I think you were wearing dunks and you're in Burlingame and some kids called you a hype piece as they're driving by.
Yeah, man, it's disappointing getting called a hype beast at your old age. You know what I mean?
know. You know what the thing is too? I've had people call me a hype beast, thinking that it's like some sort of like it's a compliment, you know? And it's like that's not a compliment, all right?
Those are fighting words,
yeah.
dog.
It's like I just like what I like, okay? It's not my fault. Everyone else likes what I like, and I have a robot to buy what I like. You know?
Like, dog, I was on Nike Talk like, oh shit, the 10s are out, the Obsidians are coming out. Oh, I'm getting wet right now, you know?
Yeah.
I was in them internet streets.
Wait, can we rewind back? You said you were getting wet back then?
You weren't?
I was getting hard.
Oh, man.
all orifices were
all orifices.
Lubricated.
Yeah. Hey, so Wally,
let's just say it was wild when I was in my teens. You know what I mean? It's been wild times.
It's been wild times. Hey, you've seen some things, huh?
I've seen a lot of things.
Seen a lot of things.
Seen a lot.
You know, my intro to you was that it wasn't off the stoop. It was off of the picnic table because I'd see you at family parties.
Shout out to Jane.
To Jane.
Off the picnic table.
Shout out
nice.
Leo. Shout out Jay. Shout out Lavi.
Yeah, all of them, man. Good family, and you know, like. Just so happens that you're pretty funny, and I was like, Chris, shout out to CL the Source. He talked very highly of you, and he told me about this open mic that he went to, and he did it for the first time. Mm-hmm. And that man described it in full detail with his heart pumping, and he was just saying like, "Oh man," you know, it's just like,
yeah,
it just kind of like goes like that, and you know, comedy, it's crazy, man. Like I'm sure you know this because you do it.
Yeah. No, comedy, shout out CL, man. That's my guy. He's out in Hawaii living the life that I wish I was still living.
For real, man.
Aloha.
My ubes. No, man, comedy it's so crazy because when you think of comedy, you just think of like Dave Chappelle and Netflix specials and things like that. But like you don't realize like you have to work to get to that point.
When'd you catch the bug?
Yeah.
I've always loved stand-up comedy.
Okay.
As a kid, I was always a fuck around. I was a fuck around as a kid because I always got my work done first. Like 5 to 10 minutes early. So
you was an overachiever.
Nah, dude, I did okay. Oh,
yeah.
Is this okay? But yeah,
you want to make sure they know you did okay.
You know, I was good.
Yeah,
but like I just. You know, you got 5 to 10 minutes as a kid. That's forever. So I'm just fucking around. You know, I always got in trouble. So I just started writing or like making jokes or fucking with my classmates. And and then I grew up, and there was a Chappelle show. There's the Comedy Central. There's Mad TV. What is it, Mad TV?
Yeah, Mad TV.
The Man Show.
Oh, the Man. That was old. That was like with Adam Carolla.
But what network was it on? I forget.
Man Show was on Comedy Central.
It was like
FX
or Spike TV or something.
Spike. Something like that. They had like Joe's versus. Pros versus Joe's, Mad TV, The Man Show. They had all that shit. You remember what I'm...
Joe's?
Yeah, for sure. No, that definitely sounds like some fucking, some Spike TV fuckery. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was like, past 10 o'clock. I'm like I'm in third grade. I'm like, okay, like this is what comedy is. And I would listen to like Patrice O'Neal and those kind of guys.
That's the
dude, man.
Was that the word of the day? Hey!
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, shout out to Patrice.
Yeah,
Elephant in the Room is a great stand-up special.
Yes,
Elephant in the Room.
It's fire, man.
I think I remember hearing him on the radio right before he died. He said, like, he can't wait till everyone stops being so fucking soft and we can start making fun of each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And comedy. You're looking at two guys who fucking love comedy, and I think it's just like with comedy.
3. Okay, no problem.
Oh no, dude, me and you.
Okay, well,
no, he's looking at you guys.
He doesn't love it.
No.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't.
All right, all of us love comedy. Let's get that straight. But I think
wanted to wait for the call back.
I think the underlying thing with comedy that I'm starting to see, and you've mentioned this before, is that there is a lot of pain that is associated with comedy, right?
Yeah.
You have your Mitch Hedbergs, right?
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Your fucking what's his name?
Robert Williams is there.
Robert Williams.
Yeah, Robert Williams, yo.
Who's that dude from SNL? Fuck, I forget these white dudes.
Farley.
Chris Farley.
The other dude, he just passed away this last year.
What?
Yeah, dude from SNL. He did the original
Norm Macdonald.
Oh yeah,
Norm
Y'all
Macdonald.
ain't fans, but
I always forget him. Bro.
I'm
not gonna lie. I always forget.
This is my lane, though.
Yeah.
This is my lane. I'm an old guy.
And the thing is like it's funny because that's how it seems like comedians kind of communicate or soothe all of their pain, right?
Yeah.
It's like years of trauma, all of this shit, and it's just kind of acted out. So I commend you for going up there solo.
Yeah.
Every time you go up there and just fucking doing your thing.
Thank you.
I mean,
I appreciate it.
Is it like a mom spaghetti moment? Like, how are you feeling?
Man, okay, so I've been doing comedy 2 years now, and the first time I ever went up, it was nerve-wracking. I didn't know what to say.
So you started during the pandemic?
Yeah. So I had the podcast, and I always knew the podcast was going to lead me into doing comedy because it was just a way for me to start talking more often and just rehearsing the way I talk in front of cameras, in front of people. So I had like a plan, honestly.
Ooh.
And yeah, the pandemic opened up, and shout out to this group called Bit City. They had this open mic in on 7th West in Oakland, right off the freeway.
Okay.
So one of my homies, he was my little cousin Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah, he was DJing for them.
Wow.
And then he was like, "Oh, come with me." And I was like, "All right, fuck it." And then I always wanted to do comedy, and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of my chance to just go up and do it."
Yeah.
Complete dog shit, of course. And I just
you
caught
ate
the
it?
Of course I hate it, man. Anybody who tells you they did a good job is not really listening to themselves.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, it went well.
Yeah, if you, and I think this is just like ground rules for an open mic. You should a big comedian told me this, like, you should never want to kill at an open mic because it's just other comedians and bar patrons mostly who don't give a fuck. So it's just you trying to get your shit off and trying to learn and tweak your shit or memorize your stuff.
Did you have a bit or did you just do crowd work?
I had some bits. They were bad.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about...
Yeah, they were. I was fucking with you.
But, oh shit, I did post those.
I saw some. Yeah.
Because I did talk... I remember I talked about my grandma passing away.
You talked about like the Al Qaeda thing.
I talked about Al Qaeda. Oh, that one, I love that one. That's not a bit. That's something I just put up there. But like, I love that bit. It was about like Al Qaeda's Disneyland, and it was some crazy shit.
Run it.
I forgot, honestly.
Okay,
I gotta remember. It's still on my IG. So if you want to.
Speaking of Disneyland, is it true that you once got lost in Disneyland because you were falling around Goofy?
Yeah.
And was that the time that you realized you wanted to do comedy?
Being
a goofy ass motherfucker.
I was just a kid lost in the world, man. But like,
How old were you?
I was like 4 or 5.
Yo,
bro.
that must have been scary, but
I was-
kind of cool though, right?
I was lost. I don't even know, bro. It
There was no air tags.
no, man. And this was during a time where like if you were lost, you were in the back of a milk carton, bro.
Yeah.
Like nobody was posting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. Were you there with all of your family?
Our whole family was there,
Damn.
and I got lost. But that's kind of like me in a nutshell, though. Honestly,
Talk about it.
Me in a nutshell with my family. I always. It's weird because I don't seek attention from my family, but like I try to give my family as much attention as I can give them.
Wow.
But I like take the back seat when it comes to them. But
Oh.
it's weird when I'm in front. Of course, I'm a comedian. Like I command attention from everybody.
Right.
But yeah, like when it comes to my family, I'll just take the back seat. I'll chill. I'll be a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
I used to be really drunk and shit too, but then like I've kind of taken a step back from that too. I'm just like, all right, nah, this is like kind of not my time. You know what I mean?
Has it like gotten you in trouble and stuff? I once punched my Saturn when I had too much Hennessy, and
No.
I dented it. And that doesn't speak to my strength. It
Speaks
speaks
to your
to the
shitty Saturn.
It's the only car named after a planet aside from Mercury. Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, all right, that was sick.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's gotten me in trouble with my family, but it has. I know it's had them worried about me.
Got you.
In a way where like I was kind of like a danger to because I was wild, yo. Like I'm very tamed now.
Up until like what age?
Up until I turned 30. 29.
Bro, we're talking about like 2 years ago.
Yeah, like 29, 30,
how,
bro.
how old are you?
32.
Okay.
So this
Enjoy
is, so
that
we're
youth.
so okay. So we're
Enjoy that
talking like
youth.
this is like a new you right now.
In a way, yeah, cause bro, from like honestly, from like 13 to 28,
Yeah.
I was fucking wild,
What do
like
you-
crazy.
Why do you think that was?
Yeah.
It's a little context. So my family and I lived in Daly City for a little bit.
Shout out to Daly City.
Shout out to
and
Daly
your
City.
family.
Shout out to my family as always. We lived in Daly City, and then the crash happened as I was entering high school.
The market crash.
Yeah, the market crash. 08, 09.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Obama.
Wait. You're talking about the housing market.
Well, just the whole crash,
Yeah,
the whole
okay.
recession. You know,
Got you. Was that Obama?
that was Obama.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably it was like
Yeah.
a very momentum. Yeah.
So that happened. So my family and I moved to San Bruno, and it was a point where like I was just kind of felt like I was on my own. You know what I mean? Like, cause we moved to a care home, my family's care home. Not in a bad. It's not a bad thing, but like it was like I had to get myself around. I had to do all this shit for myself. I didn't have kind of like my own room or anything. I didn't have privacy.
and you were kind of
My
like
parents-
torn away from something that you were so familiar with.
Yeah, and it was they were like growing years, you know. It was like my youth. were,
Very
like,
impressional,
Very,
yeah.
very, yeah. So like I was going out into the city. I didn't want to come home because I was still going to school in Daly City.
Yeah.
I was still going to Jeff, or I went to Westmore and then I went to Jeff, and then it was so far. I would take the bus. I would get
Mm. Still
rides.
Indians, not Grizzlies, right?
Yeah, still Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah.
Jeff Rowe.
So I would be with my friends. I would sleep over at my friends' houses, bro.
Like on weekdays too.
Weekdays.
Yo,
I would,
that's-
like because I was an athlete too.
Oh, would you play?
Because I hooped and played football. So
Really?
sometimes I would be way too
Under
tired.
Duke?
Huh?
Duke?
No. Under Coach Holmes. But
What up, Holmes? Sorry.
But my coach is Coach Falabella and Coach Paris for basketball. Those are my guys, man. But
Played for the NBA.
huh?
Paris, right?
Yeah.
He played for the NBA.
Almost. He was
Almost.
close. Played for Balboa, which is just as close.
Mr. Lee, the typewriter coach, he played for
The Westmore coach?
No,
Westmore?
he went to. He was at Jeff. He was a. We didn't have a. Jeff didn't have a computer. We had typewriting class.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
This is some like freedom
Yeah,
writer
exactly.
shit.
in the 1900s. Yeah,
Damn, that sucks. You got to say 1900, bro. I be hearing people
In the
say.
late 1900s,
No.
dog.
I be hearing people say that to me, and I'm like, damn, fuck y'all, man. But
I mean, it was a good time.
it was a great time.
so
Best times.
you lived. So market crash. You moved to a care home.
I moved to a care home.
What's the craziest thing you remember seeing in a care home?
Can I get a napkin first?
Yeah, I got you.
Bro, bro, this is why I was so jaded. I'll say why I was so jaded and like, cause bro, I would see old people die who weren't like my grandparents or anything, and I just walk out in the middle of the night. I need a piss.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like EMT is there, police is there because you know you got a 911 call.
Yeah.
So I'm just waking up to piss, and I look at it, I'm like, oh fuck, again. So I had to like dip out. So like a lot of times I wouldn't come home. I just tell my parents like, yo, I'm sleeping over a friend's house. Plus I'm hella
Closer,
tired.
right by school.
Yeah, bro, like a lot of,
But you're just trying to find an escape.
yeah, pretty much. But bro, for a long time, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yeah, my girl won't get mad at this. But
Shout out to your girl.
Shout out my girl. Love you. For a long time, I was sleeping at like girls' houses. So I had my car.
We can delete that.
Nah, that's cool. Like I was a sophomore in high school when I started driving.
Yeah.
So I had my car and I had my clothes in there and I had my jerseys. So a lot of times I would bring my clothes to like girls' houses and I would sleep over their houses. So I had a bunch of houses I was sleeping every night.
Well, like a different one every night.
Like a couple. I had
Wally.
like a couple different girls, bro.
I mean, oh man. I mean, with
Hard
the
life.
with the literally with the context, I'm like, damn. But then like back then, if I would be like, yo, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Back then I thought I was the man, but like you know, you get older and you think about it. I'm just like, oh shit.
Would you shower at their houses?
Yeah, bro. I was.
Would you like slap high fives with their pops?
Nah. They would sneak me in.
Yo, it's like basketball diaries, dog.
Yeah, bro. I had like 3 or 4 girls at least that like I would sleep over their house. They would sneak me in hella late.
Were you smashing all three?
I was smashing a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, just to make it clear,
Wally.
yeah, well,
He smashed the homie.
but it's not that you were like, back then, sure, it could have been like seen as some player shit, but for you, it was like an escape.
Survival.
For me, it was survival.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feel
because
it.
like I was like, bro, I had no home basically, and you know I'm not salty about that, but it just is what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to go home and see dead people or old people all the time.
Yeah.
I'd rather see my friends or a girl or something.
Like
you know what I mean?
care homes have a particular smell to them.
Yeah.
It's got a stigma.
It's like milk and piss.
Yeah,
applesauce,
and
yeah.
fucking Ensure and
And Ben Gay.
and oatmeal. Not even
Smegma.
Tiger
like.
Bomb if they're Filipino.
Yeah.
Nah, it was all white folks.
So
More money.
Salon.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Money
Salon
and
house.
wet dog.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
to Benny. I love you, Benny. That's my dog.
Go ahead, Jan.
Was there ghosts too?
Oh, I was thinking
You know,
about that.
I'm not a conduit or anything,
What
but
does that mean?
I'm.
I know you
You've
know
seen
big
The
words.
Conjuring.
Oh,
You've
no,
seen The
no,
Conjuring.
No.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
choose
Gus.
not to.
Okay, so Gus is like, he believes in ghosts, which keeps him
No.
away from all ghost movies.
No, that's good, honestly. So like, I'm not a medium for like these other ghosts to come in. You know what I mean? So I'm not able to see. My girl is fucking crazy, but you know, I have had moments when I would be at home or at the care home where I felt like something was on top of me. And I think they call it like sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But it has another name in like Bible terms. I don't really know what it is. But
Said that the devil is enjoying you, like choking you.
man, I was calling it daddy for a minute, bro. It was
It's white people,
I was
not
its,
Tata.
I was its bitch, bro. I was its bitch for a minute.
You're just like, give me my
And then
robe.
bro, I would remember like going, "Duh, duh."
And you're not fucking around. I mean, you're a comedian, but you're not fucking around right now.
No, I'm not fucking
had
around,
that.
bro. I've had moments where I'm
Yeah.
like trying to like yell for help and like,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering like, what the fuck is this?
Have
dude?
you? This is.
Hold on real quick. I did that once. I remember that happened to me in high school once, and I'm so old. I had a VCR, right, with the time on it. I remember seeing time pass. Like I was staring at the VCR because I was trying to like move. Like I remember seeing something white above me. Call me a liar. I remember what I remember. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's real.
But it's I had that sleep paralysis. It felt like there was light, and when I finally got my hand up, I felt like my hand wasn't something thick, but there was nothing there.
Bro, that's some real shit. Cause okay, so the care home, the way my room was set up was
Get a little closer.
it was the way my room was set up, right? So this is the room. My bed was facing towards the door, and there was a window right behind me. There were double windows right behind me.
Right. Mhm.
And I remember this one time specifically. I was like looking out at the window and I was like, "Ah," trying to scream for help, and then like I fell back asleep. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" Like
Yeah.
that. But I know I remember it happening. Like it happened for sure.
Did you tell any of your family about this stuff?
Nah,
Because you said you take a back seat, right?
Yeah.
Like you hold them as a top priority, but as in terms of kind of communicating your own needs or yourself, you take a back seat.
Yeah. I don't really express my needs or anything to my family. You know,
Youngest,
what I mean?
oldest, middle.
So I'm in this weird phase where I have a stepbrother and a half brother. It's my older brothers. I'm the youngest, but then in my family, you know how Filipinos are. We're all like one big family.
Yeah.
In that
tribe.
in that tribal mentality, I'm like in the middle. But in my parents, you know, in that family, my immediate family, I'm like the youngest. So it's like a weird dynamic, you know?
Damn. So you have like the middle child syndrome, and also kind of like the sensitiveness of like the youngest.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've had to like carry, you know, you have like those pressures of being the youngest, like living up to something or trying to become something. But then you also have that like mentality to just take a back seat because like, oh, it's like my older cousins, and then there's like my younger cousins who are kind of like really young, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. You know, first I want to say thank you for fucking opening up right now. This wasn't exactly what I expected. I'm loving this though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm open, bro.
I have a question, but do you have? It looks like you got some.
No, I just want the whole sleep paralysis thing. So it's odd to me because I haven't had it in a long time. I remember having a lot in my teens, maybe a couple times in my 20s.
Ever since you got married?
No, probably like since like 30s. So I'm like 10 years your senior. So
Thank you.
when I would have those episodes, I remember one time I had one. It was so bad. It was I was a teenager, and then my room was always in the garage. Ooh. It was a Frisco house, so my room was in the garage. So as soon as I broke the spell, I ran right upstairs to my parents' room. And my dad was like, "What's up? You okay?" And I was like, "Hello, sweating." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just checking in on you guys." He
Was your pops just like standing there, like, "What's up"?
No, he was in bed watching TV, fucking, and he was just like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." I thought I heard something. He's like, "No, everything's cool." And I was like, "All right." And it took me a while to go back down to my room. When so the house I lived in was my grandparents' house, in my teens, in the city, and my grandmother was the one that we would have Friday meals. Friday dinners was always at grandma's house, like my mommy's house.
It's when all the family gets together. For
Exactly.
Sure.
And
I miss those, by the way.
straight up
Go
family
ahead,
parties.
sorry.
And then I remember when she passed. I was walking downstairs to my room, and she was a cook in the house, right? She cooked everything for everyone. We had a gas stove, and for those familiar with gas stoves, our gas stoves never made a noise. But when I walked by the stove, it made ticking sounds like for the
Like
gas.
the pilot.
For the pilot.
Yeah,
Oh.
pilot to start. And all my cousins, this is my grandma, like just passed. All my cousins were sitting in were sleeping in the living room, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not sleeping by myself. I'm not sleeping by myself." And then there was another time. I just want to get this out because before we transition from the ghost topic, there was a girl at the house. It was late night.
Hey,
Girl was hanging out. We're doing whatever, and then nothing crazy. We're just hanging out. And then
you were.
this was, I think, my grand.
Put on a VHS.
You know what I mean? Nutty Professor,
Yeah.
no big deal.
Hey, you want to watch the second half of Titanic?
Oh no!
And
The
then,
second half. Go ahead.
Sorry, my fault. And then I remember when she was hanging out. We were having a good time. We were hanging out. Then she a picture fell off the wall. Then something else fell, and then she pointed it out. She was like, "Why are things falling in your house?" I was like, "Don't worry about it." I go, "Let's go get something to eat." So I literally have to leave.
Did you leave hella quick?
No, I didn't try to make a big deal about it. But that's my grandma was not about that cat shit. She was like, "Get these bitches out my house."
Hey, the spirit is strong, man.
Yeah, especially in her house.
Like
So
when my
that
nana
was it.
passed away, it was like it was a really big hit to our family because she was like
The matriarch.
she's the matriarch,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like in Filipino culture, it's not a patriarchy; it's a matriarchy. Like the woman runs the woman runs this
Straight
shit.
up.
Who run the world? Girls.
Girls.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but no, I mean,
All right.
cut that out at 25 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no. But it was a big hit for my family too. And for a minute, all me and my cousins, we were talking a lot in the group chat, and we would talk about like, oh, Nana visited me for a long time. She visited a lot of us at like the same day, same time. So her spirit was strong, yo. Like it's real. Ghosts are real, bro. Like I'm gonna back you up. Like ghosts are real, bro. The fact that you don't want to fuck with ghost stories, that's cool. Cause I like to scare the shit out of myself, so that's why I do watch it. It's like you just gotta feel something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think I scared myself a lot as a youth watching like unsolved mysteries, and then especially when it would transition
sound effects, dude.
that, and they would cover religious stuff, and I remember having a lot of religious dreams as a kid that I don't want to get into.
Yeah, let's we'll save that for
transition.
Episode 200.
Yeah, we'll talk about some religious ghosts.
But the only thing, speaking of getting scared, I'm not scared of a lot. The only thing I've ever really, really been scared of is roller coasters. And because I was really scared, because I was really young when I watched Final Destination.
Oh, I haven't watched that.
And there's a specific scene where they're on the fucking roller coaster, and the nuts and bolts get loosened
Oh yeah,
up.
it starts shaking.
Yeah, and then ever since then, that and trucks with logs in them, I don't fuck with those.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, I got a little mad, not I'll be honest, because you're like, you were at a young age and you saw a movie that had it and it was Final Destination. I was like, I was 18 when that shit came out. I was like,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Guess it wasn't my Final
Pretty old when that movie came out.
So, all right, so let's go back, right? Talk about the ghost in your past. Okay, so let's say you're 17 now, right? You're still kind of doing the same thing. I'm gonna skip forward real quick.
Yeah.
You went to state, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had
You're a Gator?
I'm a Gator boy.
You and Ben Baller.
Ben Baller.
Ben Baller?
Yeah.
He's a Gator.
Ben Baller?
Yeah.
Ben
He
Baller.
played football.
Dude, what?
He played football.
Ben Baller, Ben Baller.
If
Ben
and
Baller.
Co.
Yeah, he graduated American history.
Was it?
No, I'm just
Really?
No,
I was like, what? I was like,
Abby one too? Oh.
your fingers are too chubby.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hey, yeah, get Wally's little
got you,
skinny
bro.
fingers.
we got skeleton hands over here, cuz. Oh, shit.
You saying was Abby
A gator?
Yeah,
Gator?
I think so, yeah.
No, I think she went to.
She wore now and later Gators.
Oh yeah. No, I think she was she a gator?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
But I was actually supposed to go to I was gonna go like to San Diego State or UCLA or like
For ball?
No, hell no. I'm nowhere near good enough. That's D1 shit. But
Yeah.
Why?
I was just gonna go to school, but my mom wanted me to stay local. And I was like, if I'm gonna stay local, I'm not gonna try to waste money going to like Berkeley or anything. As prestigious as those schools are, you know what I mean? I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, and so okay, so just to run it down real quick, right? Real quick.
Yeah.
So you took history as a major.
Yeah.
After that, you were a sous chef for 3 years.
Yeah,
Where
I
at?
moved to Hawaii.
Oh shit.
I moved to Hawaii for a little while, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I went to culinary school out there.
After college.
Right after college, I had just torn my ACL and like ACL, MCL, meniscus. I was on the shelf for like probably like 8 or 9 months of my senior year.
Damn.
And I wasn't hooping or anything. Well, I was hooping, but then I wasn't hooping for the school.
High school?
College.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And then I was in bed for like 8 or 9 months. And I was like, I just need a fresh start. I just need something new for a while.
Damn, so you got the CL the source and just fucking
No.
moved it. No, you did the CL the source. And
Oh
moved to
yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah, pretty much. And prior to that, I had never been to Hawaii ever.
Wow.
No, I hadn't been to Oahu ever.
Yeah.
I've been to Maui because my uncle owns like property out there, but
Slight flex, yeah, for sure.
not for me.
I can't do
That ain't my money.
I can't do Maui.
Maui is cool when you're like 70. You know, Maui.
I like Maui.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I like, yeah.
I'd go to Oahu because you could still be
Because
little
it's a little
city-ish.
city, a little,
Yeah.
a little. But that's exactly why I moved out there. It was enough for me, enough city, and enough like country and like
Yeah.
island life. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have a car or anything out there. Like I took the bus everywhere. I had a bicycle.
The bus.
The bus.
The bus.
The bus.
The bus
brother.
is called
The bus.
Yeah.
Bro, I took that out there, and like the only time I could bring food, like when I had food, when I wanted to go shopping, I had a basket behind my bike. So I would just have like whatever I can bring on that bike.
On some Daniel.
I was like, dude, I made like I lived.
No
dude,
basket in the front. You didn't want to put it up.
no ET. No ET. He's the Karate Kid, right?
Because I had a BMX bike. I had to make sure I was
okay.
flexing.
So
a
you're
little.
like doing that thing, you're
I
going
was-
sideways.
I had pegs. I was killing it. You know, what
Jumping
I mean?
curbs and
Yeah.
apples flying out of your
Yeah.
basket.
Hey, you need a ride, brother.
Yeah, bro. but
So you went out there. You did. You became a culinary. I'm sorry. You became a sous chef.
yeah.
And then after that, you hopped into education.
Yeah, I moved back home, and I worked at this place called STEM Kitchen and Garden, and then I helped open this Hawaii concept restaurant called Aina. It's on I think it's on 20. It's in the Dog Patch.
Yeah.
On like
It's on a
23rd.
corner spot.
It's a little corner spot.
And it's a co-op, isn't it?
No. Oh yeah. It is.
It's like a house.
It's like a house. So
Yeah.
they have the corner spot, and there's like a welding spot, like a couple doors down. That's the
Yeah,
garage.
yeah.
So yeah, it is a co-op.
It's lightweight. It's lightweight. In on Hunters Point, right?
It's in the Dog Patch, so
Oh, yeah.
it was like a old Hunters Point. But yeah, so I worked there. I helped open the restaurant. Like I helped conceptualize like the menu,
Yeah.
and we opened it up, and then I kind of got fucked over, and I left, and then I started working at STEM Kitchen and Garden for maybe only like 6 or 7 months, and then I was drinking hella.
The one in Mission Bay.
Yeah,
STEM.
yeah. I was drinking a lot, and because that's kind of like the chef
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Coke and liquor.
Coke and liquor.
I've watched The Bear.
Yeah. That's actually like a really good.
Shout out to Lip.
It's the
Yeah, shout out to Lip. Yeah,
Lip.
yeah. He's from what's that show? Fuck, what's it called?
Shameless.
Shameless. Yes.
Oh,
That's a good show.
Both based in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's just a little.
I haven't watched that yet, but my boys keep telling me that's the bear, right? He's
Yeah.
he's one of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
So STEM Kitchen, and then because of your heavy drinking, that's when you stopped.
Yeah, because my body started breaking down. Because I was working out, thinking like, oh, it's cool. But I was doing late nights, early mornings. My body,
Yeah.
you're on your feet 16 hours a day. You're drinking a lot. So I had to make like a pivot. I was like, all right, I need to change this shit up.
And then you
So
pivoted to
to education.
And that's when you were working with like kids with kind of like not disabilities, but with.
I was working with special ed kids. I was a sped teacher.
and then you were making like IEPs, right?
Yeah. I was creating IEPs and like it's
How long were you doing that?
like 2 or 3 years.
And then what year? What year are we talking about right now?
2016 to 2018, probably.
That's tough,
Yeah.
right? Like
being a teacher.
yeah, especially like special needs kids.
Yeah, man. You really gotta have like some type of heart to work with special needs, and
I was gonna say patience, but heart is a better word.
Very patience and heart, and I had it for a little bit, but then
You knew
burned
that
out.
you would be more detrimental to their growth.
in a way, yeah, like
It's
cause
not for everyone.
no, cause I gotta commend all my special ed teachers out there. They're doing a service,
Yeah.
They're really doing a service, and all teachers are doing a service, man. Like.
And just hearing it in your voice, it seems like in that short span that you were doing it, it was pretty fulfilling. Probably more fulfilling than it was being like a sous chef or doing like your cooking.
Yeah, being a cook was cool creatively because I was kind of like experimenting creativity.
You're a rock star.
Yeah.
The kitchen is like
I was searching for my basketball moment. I was
Yeah.
searching for my court and my
Yeah.
center stage.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were looking for
That's
the
really-
pros.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really what it was. And I know that's what it was.
And let's just go ahead and jump forward then, because there was some stuff where you became a project manager and you're doing tech stuff and
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
and so forth. But now here we are. You're doing comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look at your entire span. The way that I see it is that you were kind of trying to find your place, right?
Yeah.
And now you're doing comedy 2 years in, and it's not easy, dog.
No, it's a lot like playing sports. And
Yeah.
I kind of love that aspect of it where you got to do the work behind the scenes.
Yeah, like the open mics are like the gyms.
Open mic is the gym, and like when I was running Hometown Heroes, they gave me a chance, and we ran a great open mic out there.
Yeah.
which one?
Hometown Heroes in South City.
Okay, off
On
Grand.
Grand. But you also did you also did the bowling alley too, right?
Yeah, we had a show out there. It's a little the
Yeah, it's a
metrics
small-
are a little.
It's not. It's,
The
it's not
metrics
a
are-
great setup for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the metrics are a lot harder. But
But
yeah,
I mean, that's hours, right? You're getting that in.
yeah. But what was I gonna say? Yeah.
It's like sports.
It's like going to the gym. It's like playing sports. Like it's a good barometer or it's a good way to humble you.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what I needed during that time. That's what I need in my life is a good humbling.
Yeah, talk
Like,
about that. Talk about that.
Being humble.
Yeah, like I mean,
Oh man,
because comedy, right? It's like
because you could be good one day and you could be dog shit the next hour.
Yeah.
So you could do 2 shows in one night, the same venue. You could do the same jokes. The first show can go the best time of your life. The next show could, because it's a different crowd, it's a different scene, it's
Yeah.
a different set.
Read
like
the room.
you don't need these. You don't know these people yet. You know what I mean? You can't assume. You can't go in and assume like, oh, I'm gonna just kill it with this same set. You know, you could. I mean, it does happen if you're undeniable. But in the grand scheme of things, nobody's undeniable. Even like Chappelle bombs. I've seen Bobby Lee bomb twice.
oh, Bobby Lee, he just recently had a resurgence because of his podcasting and stuff. I think it was basically because of DVD ASA that kind of like pushed him back into
Yeah.
the spotlight. But yeah, I mean, like you said, a somewhat famous comedian told you. Are those initials RN?
No.
Oh,
Richard
I-
Nixon.
No, because I saw because I mean, if I was if I was in your shoes, just the fact that fucking Rex Navarrete follows you, that had to be like a
We did a show together in Salinas.
talk about that.
It was crazy. It was
A lot
dog
of great
shit.
jokes.
It was dog shit. I was dog shit. He killed it. So the show was this benefit for the Filipino community out there.
Yeah.
So it was all Filipinos, and it was me, Artie Valenzuela, Rex Navarrete, and my boy Fuck, I feel so bad. This is my boy.
Yeah, he's your boy though. Just
He's
don't
my
forget
boy.
that. Yeah.
So we did a show, and the other 2 comedians, they brought people, and of course Rex brought people because he's fucking Rex, right?
Yeah.
So the show went. We all did 25 minutes each.
Wow, that's
Except
a
for
long
Rick.
I'm sorry.
time.
What year was this and how?
This was like a year ago.
That's
So that
a
means you're a
long
year in,
time.
dog.
Yeah, maybe 7-8 months ago. I have a post of when I posted a picture of me and all the guys.
And you did 25.
I did 25,
minutes.
cold 25.
When was it? What was your longest set prior to that?
15 minutes. So the guy who hired us didn't hire a host. He just hired comedians. And he was like, "Okay, we're going to start the show now."
Sounds Filipino. Yeah.
We're going to start the show. He gets up, he's like, he reads the bio that I give him because he asked for the bio. He's like, "This guy's off the stoop, Wally Hipolito, he's from San Francisco, da-da-da." And then that's it. He doesn't like butter him up or anything.
No warm up?
No warm up. I
Oof.
just go up, and mind you, there's a food truck outside that's probably not much further than where those
Amazing shoes are.
Where those seats and stuff were outside. Like
Yeah.
if you go
Yeah.
out these doors there's still a line of people getting food.
Yeah.
And they're just like coming to sit down. And they sit down, they're like, oh shit, it's starting.
Catching it mid jokes,
Like,
right? Mid-
bro, they're like 7 minutes in. I'm like 7 minutes in and they're just going. And mind you, these are old Filipinos. And
Yeah.
I don't know how to cater to hella Filipinos yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing my shit. And then I'm just like, fuck this. So I just start going like.
And you're like Al Qaeda.
Yeah. I just start crowd working and shit, and everybody's just like, yeah, it's good. And
Yeah.
at the end, I'm just like, God
Like
damn.
the knock clap.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a stretch. It was a stretch, right? Like
It was a struggle, bro.
Yeah.
Because
How did that feel? Like, was it like?
it was a good learning experience, honestly. Like, another comedian told me this, and they say this all the time. Like, you learn more from your bombs than you do from like your good sets.
Yeah.
And I learned that I was not ready for 25 minutes, and it takes a lot of work, you know. Like Rex that night, he fucking ripped the room for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Natural. And mind you, we had gone up, the 3 of us, 25 minutes each. So
Yeah.
that crowd was waiting for him, and they were down with them for like 2.5 hours. So they were waiting to hear through our bullshit.
What was
and
the
the other
age?
2 ripped it. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but like I was like, psh. Like at the end, everybody's like, "Oh, you're funny, you're good," but some you can feel like, you're kind of just saying that. Others,
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, you're genuine. You know the situation." You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
what was the age range of the attendance?
Bro, 50 and over.
Yeah.
50 and over. I don't know if
Yeah.
you know the Salinas Filipino community.
I
Shout
don't.
them out. But it's like farm workers. It's like farm worker age
can
type
imagine.
shit. Like like manongs, like dudes who got
Blue collar, straight
like
up.
dudes
Yeah.
who lived in Stockton before they turned that shit into the freeway. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then they moved. Yeah, like shit like that. Like hotel shit.
So like, okay, so opposite end of the spectrum, right? What is like the one set you feel you killed?
I mean, I don't.
You don't think you have?
I don't. People tell me, which I'm grateful for. I'm really. I don't think I've had like a completely ripped set yet.
But the most satisfying feeling, you know, when you walk off the stage and you're like, yeah, that was solid.
Yeah. And so I've had a couple of spots in LA, which I feel really good about.
Yeah.
I did
Demo was mixed.
comedy chateau. What?
Demo was mixed.
Was that-
Demographics.
Demo was mixed. It was people who came out for comedy. I did the comedy chateau. Cobb's was dope.
In LA or Frisco?
Cobb's here.
That's only one cop, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I think isn't there like a it's punchline?
That's-
No, there's a,
Punchline in Sac.
there's
yeah.
a punchline in
And Laugh
SAG,
Factory.
punchline in like
Yeah.
Philadelphia or some shit.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of the bar shows, I feel like I've ripped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel like I've done like a complete like where like all 10 or 15 minutes, I'm like completely killing it with jokes. You know.
Yeah.
I've tell people, yeah, like I said, people have told me, like crowds have told me, like, oh, you know, we really liked you, you were our favorite. I'm like, you know, I'm grateful for it. Give me a follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just your answer to that is very it's very real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not on some big shit. You're not on some like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you can remember detail for detail for when you were horrible versus even remembering when you were good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like as if you get a high off of learning to be better, and you're like cooking yourself for that one moment that you know you're just gonna explode.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, open mics are like the gym.
Yeah.
So like you're remembering all those sets. Plus, I record my voice, so you kind of know, and you record your sets when you're doing a show. So maybe you have a good set, you have a good joke, have good crowd work. You can see that concept, but you're like consistently watching yourself, and that's how you get good. You're consistently listening to yourself. You're consistently tweaking. You're consistently like listening to your voice, seeing how you move in the crowd, seeing if your jokes work or not, and you're always tweaking. Like. You gotta really. The thing is with comedy, I mean, of course there are those natural born like killers, funny people, and like you could be funny, but can you be funny for 100 people? Can you be funny for 200? And that shit takes work. Like when I say it's like a sport, I treat it like basketball, where I'm watching myself as game film. I'm seeing what I could do better. I'm like writing down, dude. I write like every day for like 2 or 3 hours.
Wow.
Like, and it's just like it's either tweaking the jokes that I have. I have this section of notes in my phone where it's just all random ideas I have throughout the day. And then when I'm finished with work or whatever and I have the time, I can go back and see what do I feel like writing today, or should I go edit my shit.
Do you write with your hand, notebook?
I write with a notebook.
Yeah,
I have to.
I feel it. Are you left-handed?
Yeah. The memory.
Creative.
Yeah, I gotta. It
Yeah,
helps
alright.
with memory. Yeah. Hey, I'm the Ginobili with it. You know, I'm Ginobili with it.
Do you find it better to write as well?
When I'm working out ideas or concepts, or if I'm trying to create something, I write. I try to do it on my phone, but I have a notebook. I have random notebooks all throughout the whole house.
Bro.
You buy like packs of 4 and shit.
No, I tell Niche to bring them home from work. Like, bring me another notebook.
Nice.
She's like, you
Bro.
have 7 of those.
Bro, I'm hella pretentious when it comes to like my Joe notebooks. So I buy
You have a feather pen.
I
and
have
a welt.
moleskins.
Oh.
I buy moleskins for my Joe.
moleskin.
Hella pretentious, bro. But like I know, like okay, when I have this, I'm gonna bring it. You know, I'm
Like, dear diary, who went to Moleskins
like-
today?
You're like, yeah.
I'm like Doug. I'm like
Farts are
Doug, you
funny.
know, like Doug in his journal. I'm just like this on my bed, cross-legged. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I always analyze myself a lot. Yeah.
Graph or sketchbook style?
Regular notebook. Regular notebook.
Do you
'cause
have
I
lines
to.
in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need lines.
Do you write in cursive?
No. Bro, because,
Oh, you're one of those.
bro, because I write in all caps.
Ah,
So
like you're tagging.
yeah. So my left hand always fucks up. So I have to
you
like
you smudge it.
I smudge it. So I like. If you ever see me, I write like this.
Crane style.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, people are like, why do you like extend
Like in
so
characters?
much? Yeah.
Like you're doing Asian characters?
Yeah.
Why don't you write downwards?
But I have to because righties, you're lucky because you could just go like this. But me, I have to try to not smudge my shit. I'm working in with 1.0 ink. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
thick, so I have a whole thing.
I've looked at your stuff. I've looked at like and it's kind of weird because you're kind of at this spot where, you know, Dave Chappelle and all of them, right? All of these old comedians would have to go up and they'd have to like work their stuff in open mics and then go into their comedy clubs. And then now you're kind of at this point where you're trying to figure yourself out with technology, right? You're trying to make funny skits. You're trying to get eyes on you, right? And I feel, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm no fucking expert, but I feel like you're still trying to find your sweet spot.
Yeah, it's a grind, man. Like if you're trying to make, the thing about comedy is like, I love it and I always want to work at it, but if you want to make it, you can't always just depend on comedy. You know what I mean? You gotta have a rep.
Yeah,
and like you know, you can't always develop that rep in comedy. You kind of have to develop your own. You have to develop your own audience,
right?
And that's when other people start fucking with you.
Yeah.
And other people, I mean, like bookers and shit like that.
Yeah.
With today's generation, it's almost easier and harder at the same time to be a comedian. Easier, I would say, is because it's easier to spread the word.
It's easier access, but it's harder because it's saturated.
And it's hard to work out your material because, like, I remember going to comedy shows and like recently, and you can't bring your phone because people don't want you recording.
Yeah.
When Dave Chappelle's like working out a bit.
Yeah.
For something like he's
locks it up and shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
You can't use your phones. I remember being at what's that one that's Punchline, right? In Frisco, the one that's on top of
Battery?
everything.
Yeah.
I remember going to a Chappelle show there, and then like the best ones to go to are the last shows because he'll stretch that shit out to like 2 a.m. And it's just crowd work. It's all crowd work.
But it's that crowd work can turn into something. So you might hear it when it's fresh, and then all of a sudden you see it on a special. Like, oh shit, I was there when he thought of that.
Yeah.
Because one of my homies, he used to work at this. He used to work at one of the hotels downtown. And when Chappelle went to Africa or whatever, he was actually staying in the city in a hotel for like 5-6 months at a time without his family, just him.
4 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. So he would go there.
But he didn't go to Africa too, right?
He went to Africa, but
he stayed in the city though.
Yeah.
Got it.
But when he was doing that, he was going around to random open mics and shit, and like not even open mics. He would go to cafes and just start talking. So like Twitter was popping off, so you would see tweets like, "Oh, Chappelle is Chappelle is here," and hell of people would just come through and just like listen to him. And that was kind of how I think he's talked about this. Is kind of how he kept saying all those years from like being away from comedy, like
staying relevant, staying in the mix.
Yeah, and I think with Chappelle, right? There are a certain set of comedians who use it to actually for therapy, you know, like Neil Brennan. His last one with that shit was powerful.
That
man.
one was rough,
and they said it was like, you know, he even like,
is that the one where he used all the icons?
Yeah. And he poked fun at himself, saying that like people were calling it like a traumedy show, you know, because he's talking about his trauma. Yeah,
it's so fucking good.
And that's the thing, right? Like he flipped his pain into something that's relatable, and people loved it, right? So it's like, imagine that, man, because you've been through a lot of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's one thing for people to understand you, but for people to like soak it in, relate to it, and now they're like kind of carrying that message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the crazy part about comedy and just entertainment, you know, because like my comedy probably isn't for everyone, but it is for someone. And like you said, people are going to relate to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, not everybody's going to relate to Dave Chappelle at his older years because, I mean, the narrative right now around like Chappelle and Chris Rock, they're just like angry old black dudes. You know what I mean? And it's
crazy.
And it's somewhat true, but they still got a message, you know what I mean? It might not be as good as it was back then, but it's still great. And there's still like great, there's still GOATs.
If anything, I think it's more refined, right? Because, you know, with rap, let's say with rap, right? There's only like a few older rappers who can actually do it. But with Dave Chappelle, he's kind of like taking it and he's taking his like art and he's made it more meaningful.
Yeah.
You know, the way that he stuck to his guns with the whole like trans versus like black people thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't hate on it. You know what I'm saying?
That you gotta believe in what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You really gotta be about it, and like you gotta even if you hate it, you gotta commend the dude for being about it.
Yeah, and what about
You know?
Gerard Carmichael? Like on his last like stand-up special,
when he came out?
as
Oh,
gay.
yeah.
Dude,
like
that
that's
was
powerful, man.
Yeah.
that was amazing. That was great. Like he seemed so free after he said that.
That was only like his second special, right?
Yeah, that was.
both on HBO.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about. And then the next day, he was on fucking Saturday Night Live, the happiest I've probably seen that dude ever. And I was like, that's what happens when you become gay. You get happy.
Who's your top 3 comedians?
Chappelle, of course, Patrice O'Neal, and George Carlin.
George Carlin. Good. Hey, how about you? I know because we all love comedy. What about you, Gus?
I am very much a product of Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yes. All the buttons.
He says my name, Gus. Your wife's a big feet, Gus. Goonie Goo Goo, Gus. Like I had uncles call me Goonie Goo Goo because I would watch that like summers. You know, for us old heads, it was just VHS or HBO if you had if you had a black box.
Betamax?
Yeah, exactly. But then like Delirious was something I watched religiously. Like the ice cream man is coming. Like everything was so relatable. And then so it would be Chappelle. Chappelle's up there too. And so Eddie Murphy, Chappelle. And I really like Dion Cole right now.
Dion Cole
Yo, his new
great.
special on Netflix is fucking amazing.
Really
I
like
haven't watched it yet, but
Cole.
dude, Dion Cole is. I'm really glad he's having his
he's having his
fucking
moment.
dude,
Yeah.
because he worked him and D-Ray.
D-Ray Davis?
D-Ray Davis.
was
They
signed
are
to death row.
yeah.
Did he really? Yeah, he was signed to death
He
row.
was for a minute, but yeah, I'm glad D-Ray.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for D-Ray's super blow up, but
Yeah.
I'm happy Dion Cole is having like a blow up, like a Wayne's brothers blow up.
Yeah.
bro. Like, he's my god.
Without Keenan Ivory Wayne's cosign though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. Like I love this shit. I love when he takes out his notebook. It's the best because it's. I don't know if he's ever talked. I feel like there's nothing really in there.
No.
And he's just using it as an applause, or
Yeah.
it's part of the bit of him
Or
doing
he's,
it.
or he's
you know?
really like working a bit.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. I fucking love. I wish I could see him live, but he doesn't. He probably doesn't like coming to San Francisco.
Yeah, it's only Dave Chappelle, right?
Yeah. He's the only one who
Yeah,
Dave
Dion
Chappelle is the
Cole.
only one in this new San Francisco that is like cool black.
Because
you know what I mean?
he's clout.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're- I
People
mean,
are chasing clout.
He did a recent show here, and he was like cracking jokes in San Francisco,
Dude.
saying like, "We need a Batman because it's so
Yeah,
bad."
it's
I was
so bad.
I was trying to go to that show, so one of my coworkers was selling a ticket. It was face value was $200. I ended up not going because which
But
was
how much were you trying to sell it to you for?
face value.
Oh, nice guy.
But
Nice guy.
I'm kind of glad I didn't end up going because I ended up going to the Lakers Warriors game and Game 6.
We all know how that
I was like,
is. We all know how that
Great,
is.
and Game 6 was popping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Are you a Laker fan?
Yeah.
All right, so let's end it here, man.
It was good. It was good being on, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you really find success in LA. No. I would have to say Larry David for me.
Larry Davis.
That's a career enthusiasm?
Yeah. Also for Seinfeld too, master of the fucking callback, dog. He is.
I was late on Seinfeld.
He's a master of the callback.
I was late on Seinfeld.
So there's Larry David for me, Dave Chappelle, and then also, fuck, I just had his name. There's somebody else. I'll get back to it. But John Mulaney's last.
John
That was good.
Mulaney's hilarious.
It's Baby J, dog. The fact that he like again, it's like he's like working his
Mulaney.
trauma out.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, like, sometimes I just have like fucking stand up playing in the background
Yeah.
while I'm on Zoom meetings, dog.
I love how he just goes straight into it.
Yeah.
Like, the
Straight- yeah,
special
it-
just starts straight.
There's no
like,
yeah, exactly.
No, like introducing John Mulaney. Like, nah, let's just fucking get to it. Let's talk about what everybody else has been talking about me the last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, he's not Asian. Everyone,
Yeah.
that one joke he calls back. I remember jumping on John, finding out about John Mulaney probably like 01.
Damn.
No, sorry, I'm bullshitting. 2010, around 2010.
Yeah,
Because
because that's the
still-
reference SNL too, and then other stuff.
then he would do this joke about going to Blockbuster. Y'all remember? Y'all ever hear
Nah.
that? Like going to Blockbuster and like waiting for Jurassic Park, like for someone to return it. Like, but like John Mulaney, and then I was happy to see him jump on the Spider-Verse No.
Oh yeah, the voice.
Oh, the
yeah.
pig.
He's
Yeah,
Peter
that's
Parker.
right.
Wait, did the pig die? He didn't, right?
No, Peter Parker's
because
alive.
they're
I
not.
was like, yo, bro, spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched it by now,
Oh, I thought you were talking about the new one,
No,
bro.
no, in
Oh,
the
okay.
first one.
Oh,
No, and I'm just like because I didn't. He hasn't been in any of the promo. That's why.
Oh, no, he's chilling, bro. He's bringing home the bacon.
But that spider pig. Was,
Hello.
okay.
Yo.
We don't need pork. How you don't need pork?
I don't need pork.
I love pork.
I'm a bad Filipino. You know, I don't eat rice or pork. You know, gotta get that. Gotta take.
Gotta
keep
get
the
that.
gout-
Get that rice and
Gotta
pork.
keep the gout out my life. You
Yeah,
know.
gout out of here.
Yeah. Oh, Rome's coming in with it, bro.
Nah,
He was ready.
I used to rap anyway. So,
He reminds us.
we love comedy, and you're new in comedy. You're
Very
getting
good.
there.
I'm a baby.
But guess what, man? I know that I'm looking forward to the time where you're at your fucking peak and you come back and do another episode, because it's coming, bro.
I appreciate
for somebody
it, bro.
to like take in so much and learn from so much, and just to be kind of transparent about things and be willing, just be willing to soak it in, bro. And also, Rex never really follows you. So
Shout out Rex, man. He is the big. That's a big cosign. I appreciate
yeah.
it.
What's your thoughts on Joe Coy?
All right, so yeah,
You know-
because all of us named all. By the way, I just want to say,
I was just I was just thinking that I was
yeah.
like, none of us named him, and
Yeah.
Early Joe, yes. Joe, yes.
I
Now
love Joe. I love Joe Coy. He's fucking dope.
Really?
And he's repping.
He's good.
He's
rep-
repping.
repping what?
He's repping Filipinos
LA,
for
LA
sure.
Filipinos. He's an LA Filipino, bro.
Yo,
But
he's
he's from
definitely an
Seattle.
LA Filipino.
He's an LA Filipino.
from Seattle.
He's
And
from
Vegas.
Seattle and Vegas. I read his book actually. I love that book. And then he.
Did you love the movie?
I love the book. Is really good.
The book is really good.
Did you
Yeah,
read
I
it?
heard. No,
I-
pages.
My brother still has my brother still has my copy, and he said he was gonna read it. I was like, motherfucker, you don't read, and I got to go get it back. But I read the whole book in like 2 weeks, and it's really it's a great story about like how a comedian starts up, and he talks a lot about it in his like and on his podcast, and I was like, fuck, but
Oh, he has a podcast.
he has a podcast. It's
That's cool. It's probably the same thing it says about our podcast.
Pretty
Well, that's
much.
cool. Yeah. I think you don't, as a comedian, you can paint yourself into a corner, right? Shout out to Angela
Yeah.
Johnson, and
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like,
Shout out to Matt TV.
yeah, you are now. Anyways, and yeah, I think Joe Coy, he's doing his thing.
I think. Well, go ahead.
No, that's all I gotta say about
You
that.
know, I do love Joe Coy. His early stuff was
Yes.
great. But I think the problem, I don't even want to say the problem. I think his thing now is that he's pushing Filipinos and like Asians forward a little too much. And that sounds kind of fucked up, but that's too much of his bit. And the thing with Joe Coy is he's never really been a political kind of dude. And a lot of the climate, they want to hear your thoughts on like politics and shit like that. Like this is no detriment to how great Joe Coy is. He's no Dave Chappelle. Like he does.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't know how to talk politics. He knows how to talk about his mom. He knows how to talk about
He
how.
definitely knows that accent.
Yeah, he knows how to talk about the bigotry that Filipinos have faced. But, and I don't know him as a person, but like within his comedy, he can't do. I don't know yet, but he can't do anything outside of that yet.
Yeah, I think.
I'm so early. I'm so early in my comedy career, but I'm really into politics. Not so much lately, but like I know enough where I could talk about it and I could talk shit.
I'm okay with not hearing politics at the show.
I'm not saying that has to be
Yeah.
it, but like I think Rose said it best. He painted himself into a corner, and there's only so much you could do with that corner.
Yeah, I mean,
His early work was a lot better.
his
amazing.
early because I think he was hungry, right? But after you have Chelsea Handler, the hunger is lost.
It's hard to stay hungry when you got a snow bunny meal. You know what I mean?
I
When you're
mean,
eating marshmallows all day.
yeah. And in terms of like political humor, though, I do enjoy some political humor. I mean, like, shout out to fucking Jon Stewart, who basically like was
Yeah.
the forefather of
Yeah.
all of that
Yeah.
shit. Noah Trevor, and then even what's his name from HBO? I'm sorry, I watch your show when it's on my TVR.
What's the fuck his name?
John,
The British dude.
Yeah, he's funny though.
But yeah, Joe Coy, he's great. I love him. He pushed Filipinos forward. He
Yeah.
put us in a spotlight.
Yeah,
But it might not be his time anymore, and that happens to everybody.
It does.
You can't do it all.
The sun sets.
Yeah.
But who I will tell you about the next great Filipino comedians.
Oh, that guy with the
J.R. de Guzman.
Yeah, J.R. de Guzman.
Andrew Arolfo. I fucking love those guys, man. Fucking dope ass comedians. Andrew Arolfo.
Yeah.
He's from the Bay. I don't know. I think JR's from Sacramento, but Andrew's from Concord.
Yeah.
He's the homie. He's a fucking great comedian. He's fucking hilarious. And anybody who's listening to this, go check out his content because he has like great jokes. He's a great comedian. He's very underrated. He was on Joe Coy's In My Element special when they went to the Philippines.
Oh, that was a rough
Yeah.
watch.
The dude with the,
Yeah,
the
it
dude with
was
the glasses,
tough.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
he's pretty funny.
They don't know. See, that's the thing. So I went to but yeah, I'm gonna give them their flowers. They're great. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Out of the three of them, those two, and you, who's the better dresser?
Oh, me.
All right, there you go.
For sure.
There
For
you
sure.
go.
I don't think JR's into dressing, but he's an amazing comedian. Andrew got swag, but no. If I felt like dressing up every day, I murder him. Love you. I love you, Andrew.
So just want to touching on the whole Joe Coy thing. Do you guys remember when he was doing predominantly like black audiences?
Yeah.
He was on Apollo.
He's right.
He was in Apollo.
And he killed it.
Murdering.
Yeah.
Murdering.
But this is
Apollo.
also the era.
He was on Def Jam.
This is the era before like camera phones. So a lot of the he got to really roll with his set. Right, like he'll have his set. He knew it would work.
Yeah,
and then he just used it everywhere. Now with social media, you can't really do that anymore. You know what I mean? Your set doesn't travel with you because it's not like someone compared it to like a musician, right? For comedians and musicians could go up and sing the same song for 30, 50, 100 years, and the crowd still love it like it's the first time. For a comedian, you always got to be fresh.
Yeah.
You always have to be on your toes because you never know who's in the crowd and people would call you out in your shit.
That's like what happened to Kevin Hart, right? Like his last one, they were like, "Yo, he phoned that shit in." His last special.
Yeah. Well, when you reach that like level of success, there's only so much you can experience and talk about.
Yeah. True.
You're not with people on the day to day. You're in your mansion just chilling, trying to come up with ideas. You got a team of writers.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart has the Drink Boys or
not the Drink Champs.
Not
his team. His team
of writers.
Yeah.
Like, you know the dudes that were all in his specials, like in the beginning credits and shit when they did the Reservoir Dogs imitation.
Yeah, and they're like in the room.
Those are all his writers, and they don't write all his shit, but like there's only so much when you get to that level that you know what to talk about. Like he talks about his kids, which was great. He talks about being rich. He talks about knowing celebrities and shit like that. And what separates like Chappelle from them is that Chappelle is like a fucking intellect. Like he's not just a comedian, but he's an intellect. Like he thinks about the world, and he might have separated a little because he has a lot of success, but he knows politics, and that's not, like you said, that's not everything, but he knows the world around him. He knows what's going on in the world around him, and not just what's in his world.
He took himself out of Hollywood, to keep himself grounded. Like he lives in a farm.
You
know what I mean.
So he goes to town hall meetings, dog.
Yeah,
that's how involved he is with his town.
And he drops off his wife at the Filipino conventions.
Exactly. I mean, what he say in one of his specials, that Mayweather Pacquiao fight was quiet. You know? It was quiet.
It was very quiet.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like you take yourself out of these settings where any random shit could happen.
Yeah,
and you don't have anything to talk about. You just got to go home and be like, oh, my kids did this.
You know what's the wildest thing is I started subscribing to Luminary because I wanted to hear that Midnight Hour podcast.
Oh, it was
and
good.
that shit, it's fucking.
It was
really
fucking good.
Was good.
It was really good. It's
dude.
on Spotify now. They sold it to Spotify, but
fuck, I gotta cancel my shit.
Just cancel it. But it's so fucking good. It was him, Yassine Bey, and it was just them two.
Him, Yassine Bey, and also Talib Kweli. Yeah, and then they had this episode with like Dave Chappelle, and then Mos Def goes into a story about like beating like a Filipino family in the Philippines in like fucking karaoke, and it's wild. You got to listen to it. Jan, go ahead.
The production on that is pretty crazy too.
It's
As a
really
producer,
good,
it's like, wow, I'm listening to like magic or something.
Yeah. Last question. for everyone here, who do you think is one of the funniest motherfuckers who is not in comedy that should have a special?
That's a good question.
I can start first.
Donald Trump,
Hilarious.
I think John Mayer.
John Mayer.
John Mayer is fucking hilarious. Remember, he did that one bit with fucking Dave Chappelle early days.
He's around it
Yeah.
a lot. He's around it a lot.
Yeah, he's pretty
he'd be
fucking
good.
funny, dude.
I don't know. Someone who's not in and they don't have to be in entertainment. They
like
have
a
to be
stand up.
Yeah, not somebody who's not a stand-up comedian, like an actor, an athlete, like Blake Griffin or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Blake Griffin. I heard Blake Griffin is
He's pretty
actually
funny.
pretty
Yeah, he's
funny.
pretty
Like
funny.
he's legit funny.
Gus?
I would probably have to say. I was really thinking about this. It's Dustin Rhodes, who's Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Because how he leveraged Gold Dust, and they have to write their own shit, right, and present it.
Right.
He's always in front of a crowd. He's a comedian, but
Yes.
he's also just happened to be a wrestler.
Yes, and painted in gold,
Yeah,
dog.
and he's hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a fucking good
That's a
answer.
good one.
Fucking Gus. God damn.
Everything's wrestling.
I'd have to go.
Everything else, and you have an A on your fucking hat. Fuck you. You knew you were going to say that today. Go ahead, sorry.
I'd have to go with Charlemagne the God.
Ah,
God is
well
bro.
Yeah.
Is fucking hilarious
Yeah, he
without
is.
even trying.
he
bro.
smirks.
Like his
comedic timing is everything.
His
Yeah.
timing, dog.
His time, bro. If you ever watch his if you ever go on YouTube and watch Charlemagne the God's most wild moments, I always go back to this one where he sniffs J-Lo's chair.
I
when
saw
she-
that. Yeah.
And I'm just like, dog, what? And this is the thing though. It's not an act. This is him.
Yeah.
And that's what I fucking love, dude. Like Charlemagne the God would have his hour special would fucking murder.
And he does shit like deadpan, too. He'll ask questions and be like, it's so deadpan, and it's like, those who knows find it so fucking funny.
Dude,
Sorry, go
like when he. Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jen.
I was gonna say Drake for his Manny Pacquiao and
That was good.
Tito Ness.
Yeah,
and-
Yeah.
Drake is pretty fucking funny, too.
Shout out to Nico.
Shout out to Nick. He's he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
He's
He's a triple threat. In the Philippines, he'd kill it.
Yeah,
He's
he
a
played
triple
somebody
threat.
in a wheelchair, and he can walk.
Yeah. I hope when he retires, which is hopefully this year, because I fucking hate hearing his music now.
Wow, hot take. That's a hot fucking take.
Is it
dog.
really?
Yeah. I don't know if you're trying to be a comedian right now, dog, but that's not funny, bro.
I'm dead serious.
What are you listening to?
Tired
then?
of
What are you
hearing.
listening to?
I don't listen to anything new. I'll
Yeah,
say that
straight up.
And that sounds like some old head shit, but like,
No, but how old are we talking about? You talking about like Dolly Parton? You listen to some like Nat King Cole? Like,
nah,
what are you
I was
talking
just. What was I listening to today? I was listening to Damn. I was listening to Pimp a Butterfly. I listened to Good
about?
Kid.
Those are
I
all fucking Kendrick albums.
I was
dog.
listening to Kendrick. I was listening to Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah, I did.
I was
too.
listening to
my life.
I was listening to YG.
A lot of
Listen
LA
to-
shit from this kid.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Sounds good.
I was also listening.
Currency.
I was listening to Andre Nicotina.
Don't do
shout out to Dre,
wait, hold
dog.
on. Don't do that just for your fucking SF street cred.
No, I really was.
Just playing.
Jan,
And then,
Jan
I
designed
listened-
one of the
I listened-
albums.
Oh, yeah, three of them.
Dre
Oh,
Dog.
really?
We'll talk about that after.
I listened to Incubus.
All right, now you're trying to sell softer side.
No, because I watched Beef. You know the show
I
Beef.
love beef, yeah.
No, not the Street Beefs volumes. Beef, the actual A24.
Yeah.
And
No. Wait, was that a joke?
No. No, I was being for real.
Okay.
I didn't know if you knew what I was talking about, bro. But what was his name? The Asian dude,
Steve Ewan?
Steve Ewan. He starts singing.
Yeah.
Ah,
And
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
damn, this shit. I forgot how hard that song hit. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Dude
I
from
listened to it.
Walking
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got with the farmer's daughter.
Yeah, dude.
I was just rewatching that series when I got back from the PI. I was like, man, that Glenn, man.
Glenn did it for
Dude,
us.
I think a majority of Asians stopped watching it after he died. Right?
I know
Like-
I did.
Like I did too. I was like, yo,
That-
fuck.
But I'm
yeah.
trying to revisit it. I'm on like season 4. I'm trying to watch because I heard season 9 and 10 were the shit. But it's like I don't know if I want to watch season 5 through 8 just to get to 9 and 10.
I like revisiting old TV shows.
I have another comedian.
Go.
Another
non-comedian?
Non-comedian.
Can we keep drinking?
That,
Yeah, y'all
please
want?
do.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Like I said, bro, I'm probably gonna go to an open mic later on. We could go all night.
Hey,
dog.
by the way, we're past an hour, so you're doing something special.
So 50 Cent. would be a great comedian.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because he's very smirky. No, I'm kidding. He's very smirky, right? And he already knows how to demand the audience. He already knows how to control the crowd, because a big part of being comedian is being comfortable on the mic. And when I did my stint at radio, I would have to intro movies. You know, you get those movie passes.
Oh yeah.
I would have me and like one other person would have to intro a sold out movie theater to the hood. So I'm over there in Kabuki. I'm over there downtown at Metreon, and we're like, all right, y'all, welcome to Friday After Next, and just having to talk to people and engage a crowd.
Yeah, that's tight.
It was like, I hated it at first. But I got used to it, and then I started like hosting like clubs. Clubs is easy because everyone's drunk.
Yeah.
But at a movie theater, to where, all right, movie, everyone's looking down at you. First of all, because like you know how like at a club, you're higher than everyone, or you're like eye level, right?
You're center stage.
Exactly. So movie theater,
it's like arena seating.
Everyone is staring down at you.
Yeah.
And you have to engage, and you have to do contests, and you have to have people clap and not say you suck, right?
Yeah.
And I'm this brown Filipino dude, like trying to be an MC, and that shit is tough.
It is, yeah.
That's why I would never be a rapper.
Bro, and being an MC is dope though.
Master of ceremony.
Master of ceremony.
Point at me again. What was that?
No, because I'm not a rapper. I'm not trying to battle, bro. But I emceed my homie's wedding last year.
I've done a couple weddings. It's pretty
so fucking fun.
It's
funny. Because it's a lot of crowd work.
Yeah, it's all crowd work.
It's all crowd work. Like it was a Filipino wedding, and like they asked me last minute, and it was so fucking dope because I just got to talk hella shit. I was like, bahala na sa buhay mo, and then the crowd ate it, and the rest of the night I had them. Like we were doing karaoke. It was my own part. It was my party.
Yeah.
It was my wedding, dog.
Yeah.
It was like Wally Hipolito featuring a married couple.
Yeah, featuring the married couple, and then like.
Did you know people at that party?
Yeah.
Like was it a family party?
It was my boys. It was one of my really good friend Jeremiah's wedding, and
okay.
I knew his family, and then like. A lot of our friends were in the wedding, so like it was dope, man. Like, and then a bunch of them were like, "Oh, you got to do my wedding." I killed it, bro. A bunch of them were like, "You got to do my wedding." I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna pay me."
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I'm about that money, bro.
So speaking of battling, I did see that you did participate in a roast battle.
Yeah.
How was that?
I sucked.
You're like, hey, you
know,
you just being
don't they like give you like some information prior, because all of that shit that they pull out is like wild, dog.
I didn't know that.
So you were like,
I just tried to go off of shit from IG, and that didn't happen. It wasn't good.
You're like, oh, yo, the sepia filter, hella used, right?
Yeah. So, it just didn't go well, bro. And I've never wanted to do a battle since.
Ever since
I'm just like,
roasted?
But okay, so
what did he say about you? What was a one?
It was bad both ways.
Oh,
it was a terrible
that's
roast.
even worse.
It was worse. And we were the first battle. So the thing was, I was being really soft because during that time, I had just gotten into therapy.
Oh,
I had just, and then I was like really emotional.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you have an attachment.
It was a situation where I was like, oh man, I don't want to make him hurt how I feel. Right?
I don't want to. I don't want to give you any trauma.
I don't want that.
I don't want to hurt others right now. I'm in my soft boy stages, so I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do. So I just made some whack ass shit, bro. But then like a couple months later, I'm just like, god damn, like I was such a bitch.
Yeah, a couple months later, you're like, Al Qaeda.
Yeah. That was literally like 2 months later.
Damn, dog.
But like, it was in that phase. Like, I did that roast battle in my face where I was like, oh, I'm so soft right now. I'm really healing. You know what I mean? And at that point, like now, I'm just like, man, I was too fucking healed at that point. I was healing way too much.
You're like. I can just imagine like what some of those punchlines be, man.
It was bad. I don't even like those. That's one of the things where I like throw it out in comedy.
Yeah.
Like I'll remember everything else, but that roast battle I was just like, oh, it was so bad. It was bad entertainment value.
It is kind of getting time. I do have to say, man, in such a short stint of time, you have done a lot, man. I mean, a roast battle that you want to forget, open up for Rex Never Read, hosting multiple open mics, and even in your whole lifespan, just kind of like jumping in and trying to make yourself uncomfortable in new surroundings and just trying to find where you belong. Props to you, man. And I know that it's early in your career, but I bet, dog, I'm betting on this horse, bro.
Jan.
Sorry, yeah, we'll go last words. Just wait your fucking turn. Right? Go.
You're last.
Yeah, you're last, man.
last.
Come on.
You close it. You're the closer.
You're the Rex never read.
Yeah, to second Rommel, like I feel like lucky to meet you at this point in your career, and I could see like your future, and like it's pretty bright. So we're like meeting you at this stage. My last question was gonna be what is your favorite comedy movie?
My favorite that's good. Wedding Crashers.
Oh,
that's
a good one.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It is though.
That is
Wedding Crashers or anything by Will Ferrell.
There it is.
Like those have a special place in my heart.
Like Eastbound
bro.
and Down. Was that a good series for you?
It was okay, but like
It was
I'm talking
okay?
about like
It was okay.
I'm talking about like Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, fucking
yeah.
anything
Yeah.
with. Oh man, that was a time for me.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory was great. That's an
Ooh.
that's an underrated one.
Yo, that's a deep cut.
That's
Old
an
School.
underrated one. Old School was good.
Old School was good.
Old School was fucking great.
Old School was
Will
fucking
Ferrell, he's unappreciated now because of the woke culture and like where we
What?
are in 2023.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like people think he's a dog, bro, and he is. But that's what makes him great. Like his movies were like bro comedies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes it so fucking amazing. Like the thing with comedy now, they want everybody to be woke, but like not everybody can do that. Not everybody can make a woke piece of movie. You know what I mean? Like you don't always have to learn. Sometimes you can turn your brain off.
Yeah, you try to do that woke ass battle.
Yeah. Oh my god, the soft boy battle. That's what I'll remember it as.
Soft boy battle.
Soft boy battle. But like the best time I had in a movie since the pandemic was over, was Jackass 4.
Oh, that was pretty.
When it came out in theaters, bro,
Wow, that was a lot of dicks, man.
it was so
yeah.
That's why it was so great. But it was so good because like everybody went into the movie theater that was around,
Yeah.
and they knew what they were in
Yeah.
for, and it was
Yeah.
just all laughs. Everybody was cackling hard. It was like teenage boys, like old people, like kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people are like everybody of different demographics
In
and
one
like
living
everybody-
room.
Yeah.
In one
Exactly. One weird living room.
No, it was in the movie theater.
Yeah, but that's
yeah,
what it's
yeah,
like.
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Because
basically, yeah,
Jackass
yeah.
is like.
And everybody knew what it was.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was that and Top Gun were like the best experiences, movie theater experience
Top
I had in
Gun.
a while.
Top Gun.
I one of the most memorable comedy movies that I seen was Eric Andre's movie on Netflix, the one that had like Tiffany Haddish and that other dude. But I think Eric Andre is just fucking pretty dope himself.
He's wild.
He makes things so awkward, dog.
I love that.
What am I closing?
He makes it work.
The
Have you seen his stand up?
Yeah, I
his
went to
stand-up special.
That's
is,
that light skinned dude, right?
Yeah, he shows up like the
He-
last part.
He's like Sideshow Bob, but black.
He's the
with Hannibal Buress.
he's the yak on Sing 2.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I love how you always bring
Everything
it.
is referenced
I
towards
love
my
how you
kid.
bring it back to a kid. Yo,
It's
I
always-
fucking love that shit. dog.
Sing
Yeah.
2.
Sing
Is
2.
Is it good? I love Sing 1.
If you, it's karaoke. It's all our songs. We know
Sing
all the
1
songs.
was dope.
Yeah, Sing 1 is
Great
amazing.
illumination.
Yeah.
One of the best illumination projects.
If you rewatch a lot of the older movies, like the Pixar movies, it's a lot of inside jokes
Yeah.
for us, right? The last movie I think I laughed at in like out loud was probably when I seen Guardians 1
Oh, that's a good
in the theater, because it was the first time where Marvel wasn't so serious.
It wasn't so Marvel. Yeah.
It was its own insulated movie.
because there wasn't a huge Guardians fan base.
Yeah.
Right? That and I'm sorry, Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
I think
Because-
those are all
because
James Gunn, right?
No,
that
that
was
was
Waititi.
That's Taika Waititi.
yeah,
Waititi.
Rita's dude.
Waititi.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
doing fucking Akira too.
He's doing Mandalorian.
Yes.
He's in the he's
Him-
done a couple episodes of Mandalorian.
You've
And
earned yourself Rita Ora for sure.
Ron Howard's daughter is doing some of the episodes from Mandalorian.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Don Howard? Oh.
Ron Howard. He was Richie Cunningham.
No, I thought Don Howard was.
Have you guys seen the new Guardians? Oh,
No, not
so
yet.
Have you,
fucking
is it
good.
out already?
Yeah. It's so
can't-
fucking.
not
I
yet.
wanna-
You seen
I'm
it,
not
Jan?
gonna-
I want a spoiler alert
I'm not gonna
after.
spoil,
I want.
yeah. It's
spoilers,
so
spoilers.
fucking. It's the shit, right? It's probably like the best Marvel movie since like Infinity War.
Dude, that's a giveaway right there. Because hella people died in Infinity War.
Oh.
Yeah, but if you watch Endgame, you know what happens.
If
That's
you're
not
a real
my fault.
comic fan,
You're 3 years too late, bro.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it in these 4 years,
Yeah.
when we had all the time during
Sitting on our
2020 to
hands,
2022,
yeah.
that's your fault.
That is,
Yeah,
that is.
sitting
That's
on my
on you.
hands.
That is.
Just for me to kind of wrap up the pod, it's cool. I like how my intro to you was your podcast. And
Thank you.
and soaking it in, and you actually did one with the dude from Brick and Mortar because you put me. You remember that, right?
Gerald, yeah, that's my homie. We went to high school together.
You're the one that actually put me on
Shout out
Manila
Prodigy.
Gray.
Shout out Bird, huh?
Manila Gray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know about them. But Manila Gray is kind of like a Filipino version of Future.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like
yeah,
two
yeah.
futures, right? And
Two futures? Oh,
Yeah.
it's a group. It's a group.
Yeah, it's
I
a
got it,
two,
got it.
and they're from Canada. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of full circle for me because I didn't know you. I don't know you was I knew you were younger. I don't know how you was a young boy though, because you're really a young boy. But to soak that in and remembering that how someone called you a hype beast, and the first thing I noticed was your fires when I walked down the stairs, and I was like, oh, this dude got some shoes.
Yeah,
And
bro.
it's I'm very appreciative of your time, and I'm seeing you work,
Yeah.
and then as long as the work's still fun,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
no.
As long as the work's still fun, man.
You know, it's one of those. It's a Filipino trait of mine. It's the one I'm.
That uncle.
I hate perpetuating Filipino stereotypes. So I don't know
Why
if
do
you
you
know
have a
this
mustache then?
because I look like a gaucho. But I don't know if you knew this. I came early.
Dude, so I see.
I came
You
early.
did. I'm sorry for making you wait. Then.
No, it's cool. But I like coming early to things because I don't like perpetuating stereotypes. But the one stereotype I do like, I don't know if I perpetuate, but I do like working hard.
Yeah.
And that's because I played sports and that ingrained in me. And you know, seeing my mom work hard, seeing my dad work hard, like despite whatever we were talking about earlier, like they worked hard, and that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like
That's what you were doing.
that's what I'm trying to, bro.
Yeah,
and
man.
like I'm
No trying, bro. No trying.
I love the work.
Yeah.
And if you don't love the work, you're not gonna love the result.
No.
Cause like I go to these open mics. I always feel like, and this is some real shit. This isn't like for content. I always feel like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
I always feel like, and I feel, you know, a lot of people feel that way. But like,
That's
you
like
know,
that's definitely some Filipino shit. Though.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and like this
Trauma.
is just every nurse out there who's watching, all 505,000 of y'all, like,
Louis Therese, that's my fiance.
yeah. Shout out to Jane. All y'all who are watching, like, I always feel like I'm never doing enough. And just the fact that I'm not a nurse and I'm able to do this, like, I have a good job, but it's not fulfilling. But the fact that I can do this and like go out and try to work, I gotta work hard. I gotta work hard and do it.
You're 2 years in to your comedy. You're 2 years into your healing.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself 5 years later. That's all I gotta say, dog.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you know, and like I said earlier off the pod, like I was a big fan of you guys. I was messaging you guys like a fanboy before.
What's my last name, man?
You can, yeah, I was a fan. You know what I mean? But nah, man, like I appreciate you guys having me, yo. Like this is dope. Like this is one of the things I really wanted. Like when I had the podcast, is like like Charlemagne has this black podcast,
Black Excellence.
Effect,
Yeah.
Black Effect
yeah.
podcast, and I wanted to do that for like Filipino podcasts. Obviously, I can't do it now, but like I wanted to get like shout out Top Back podcast. I don't know if you guys knew them. It was a comic book like kind of nerd podcast.
And they have all the action figures on.
yeah, the action figures
Yeah.
as their thing. But shout out my
Outside.
You were on there.
I was on there because we were
Yeah.
talking about something.
I'm paying attention. I see you, doggy.
Yeah,
I see you, doggy.
But yeah, I wanted to do that for
Good shit.
Filipinos because there's a lot of great Filipino podcasts. There's you guys. There's Top Back. I don't know when. There's
Shoot your shot.
There's
about us.
there's this
Yeah,
one called That Filipino American Life, which is a lot bigger, but like you know they're a good podcast, but there's a lot of really good Filipino podcasts, and I feel like if you move together, like you know you could only
Move farther.
all tides rising ships and some shit like that. I'm a little buzzed right now, but like
No, but I think that speaks to your
And
character.
these are the
man.
days
It's
of
all-
our lives.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's you though. It speaks to your character. You're all about kind of like that family culture.
Yeah, and you know we have to start and It's fucked up because I don't implement that into my own family enough. You know what I mean? I do that outwardly, but like I said earlier, it's like
You learning, bro.
it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, you know, I take a backseat and I do what I can for my family, but like as like from an entertainment value standpoint, I'm like, oh shit, like if we do this shit together, like we get a lot further, like a lot further, and people don't know that, like, bro, the black community. And I base a lot of my like life on black because a lot of my best friends are black, and like we consume black culture.
Yeah.
And, like I see what they're doing. I'm like, we can fucking do that, but you know,
We'll see what happens.
see
in the
what
future,
happens.
man.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I kind of like went on a tangent.
Nah, it's
but
all good. You feeling it, dog?
Yeah, I went on but no, I
The
appreciate
spirit's
it, guys,
in
man.
you.
Yeah. Oh no, don't do that
Spirit.
shit. No, I can't. Okay, I was
Not a
about to say
conduit.
good, yeah,
bro.
exactly.
I said that top of the show. I said I'm not a conduit. But no, I appreciate
But
you
you
guys,
conduit.
man. I'm a little bit.
What's the socials and your websites? How
Any
can I
other
follow you?
events?
Yeah, all my socials at Wally Hipolito. Don't ask me what my real name is. I'm sticking to that. Follow me. I have a lot of shows coming up in the Bay. If you're in LA, I have a show. Yeah, shout out that. Shout out the Alarms going over time.
No, that's
I'm at the Comedy Chateau in LA on June 4th.
Wow.
That's a Sunday. I have some other shows down there. I can't really confirm yet, but yeah, man. I mean, follow me and you know,
Get
just
your
make it
fucking
happen.
hours in, dog.
Got to do the 10,000 hours, bro. I talked about this with CL. Like
10,000 hours is very important.
I guess I'll finish it by saying this: like, I would have almost never done this without Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to Nipsey Hussle when he was alive, but I only listened to his interviews,
Exactly.
and that motivated the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Nipsey Hussle,
Same.
like I got a poster of Nipsey Hussle, like Nipsey Hussle and Kendrick Lamar, like my fucking guy, and Tupac are like my fucking guys, bro. Like that's where I go. By.
Just touching on Nipsey, Simba, he had a session with Simba, and Simba said in Nipsey's studio he has a bunch of books on the wall, and he gives people books. And one of the books, I forget what it's called, but I ordered it. One of the books that Simba was given by Nipsey, I bought that same book just because of
Is it called The Superior Ways of a Man?
it's something about marketing.
Oh, okay.
It was how to build your brand.
It's not Rich Dad Poor Dad, is it?
Nah.
Okay.
Shit, I hope not.
Now, yeah, bro. I give a lot of my homies books. I'm an avid reader. If you go to my house, not a lot of people do because I stay very secluded. I'm like a fucking bear in that way.
Yeah.
Like I have a what is that called?
A shelf?
I have a shelf. Thank you.
So good.
I have a shelf with like hella books, and like one layer is like one shelf is like books I haven't read. One shelf is like books I've finished, and one shelf is like books I'm like ready to read. In
That's tight, man.
And I always go back to these two books every year. This is a yearly read for me. It's The Alchemist
Ooh.
and a Deepak Chopra, like 7 Spiritual Ways of Spirituality or something like that. I forget what it's
Siddhartha's
called.
a good one.
Siddhartha?
Siddhartha.
Is that
That's a good one.
Okay.
Gus, you earned that A, dog.
Yeah, those are
You know
the
about
two
Siddhartha?
books.
No, I don't. Well, but you put me on, bro.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, but yeah,
I like
man.
audiobooks though. I'm a lazy dude.
Nah,
That's what the A stands for, audio.
But yeah, man, those are yeah, that's how I live my life, man. Like The Alchemist and 7 Spiritual Ways of Spirituality or whatever the fuck it is. Shout out Deepak Chopra. No, don't shout him out. He's making too much money.
He is. Ramel, this is episode.
176.
I want to thank Wally for your time. We are so blessed to have him. This is the FREE99 podcast, y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you
ya.
guys, man.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys, bro. That was
zoning
fucking
now, huh?
amazing.
Now
That
you're
was
just-
fucking amazing, bro.
That was different.